Following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. Another race clicks by in the 2026 Area Truck Series chase, and we find ourselves at the famed Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bristol last week really shook up the point standings, and we have a lot of storylines to take over and to talk about here as we get ever so close to crowning an area champion. Round 3 out of 5, let's get it started. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for today's coverage of the Area Truck Series Chase Race number 3. We'll be doing 120 laps around this quad oval. Myself, Corey Silva, in the booth, and in the truck, Hunter Sleppy here to help out with the calls. Hunter, last week at Bristol definitely shook things up. Here we come to an intermediate track, which should be some good pack racing. We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one will turn out. Going from the short tracks of Bristol to the good old mile and a half in Charlotte. Should be a fun race to cover and a fun chase battle to cover as well, because after Chicagoland, we knew it was going to be different with Jeremy Miller in some capacity, but Jacob Harberts won last week, and he also got a similar penalty for intentionally wrecking Josh Parrish over the course of that race last Tuesday night. So he did get the same penalty, so he's not here this week, along with his 50-point penalty. Takes him out of contention for the time being. He would have been 4th in the point standings. He would have been right there with Cabry, Chilcutt, and Conrath at the top of the standings, but his penalty drops him down to dead last in the point standings. So, that being said, Cabry has a 2-point advantage over Chilcutt. And then 10 points back is Conrath, so it's really close at the top. Trevor Edwards is there as well. Jeremy Miller, he's 5th after missing last week at Bristol. Then we got Brad Slaughter still with a good shot in it. Aiden Swank, Travis Beckner. Danny Ware, Ryan Swan going to need some more luck to go in their way tonight. And it was a cool jerk from Ryan there in the number 20, but JT Poole currently at the top of the charts. He got his first Pro Series win a week ago at Bristol, and he's looking to get another truck win under his belt.
Let's see if he can go back-to-back here. New paint here for Alex Chilcutt, looking pretty sporty there in that new HenryRacing.com automobile. What is that? It's not. What is he running? A Ford? I can't make that out, but it is definitely not an F-150. But anyways, he's coming through 3 and 4 here, and let's see what he can muster. 30.2 is the pole. Barely kept it off the wall here. Looks like it will be good. Will the tracker be accurate? A 73. That'll put him 3rd, so that'll be a good starting spot for him. Anybody else still? Here comes Garrett Conrath and Cole Cabry. So 2 people top of the standings. Trying to see where they can qualify.
Yeah, Conrath won at this race a year ago en route to his truck championship, looking to defend that as well. And then looking through, he started 19th in that race a season ago, so he came from the furthest in the field to win that race, and also led the least amount of laps amongst our winners here, which, by the way, we have had a different winner each time we've gone to Charlotte. So a couple of those guys, well, they're still in the area, but Conrad's in the field tonight. I believe, yes, Brad Slaughter is here as well. I don't think David Weishart's here. I think he's in the tower, which he'll have a better perspective of this track. But qualifying's over with, and yeah, looking forward to tonight's race. We average about 6 yellows here. We had 2 green-white checker attempts back in Season 5 and Season 6. Don't usually get too many late yellows in this one.
Yes, but as we have seen here in the 2026 campaign, particularly here in this area truck series, the trends really have not been something that we can readily depend on. But again, race 3 out of 5 here today in the chase. So if you want to see more of this, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe here on PTR TV and on Twitch. You can consider subscribing there. $5 a month gets you double points, custom emotes, and turn those double points into some free merch. But again, we'll be here, and of course, the Real World Trucks just ran at North Wilkesboro if you're watching this live in the week that we are in. But we'll be headed there next week and then rounding things out at Auto Club. And Auto Club in the trucks there, Hunter, is basically going to be Daytona Junior. So we've been saying these quote-unquote normal tracks, you've got to take advantage of them because you don't want to go into Auto Club having to depend on too much.
Yeah, Auto Club's going to be so fun. I can't wait for that, but there'll be a different dynamic there. And then once we get out of here, you mentioned it, we're going to North Wilkesboro. It's probably going to be Calamity. I would assume, is it under the new layout?
I would infer so, but we do not have the specifics. But I would take a good hankering that we probably will be.
All right. Well, it should be a fun battle there as well. And by fun, I mean Calamity. It's the trucks. It's North Wilkesboro. It's a short track. Chaos is bound to happen. Just don't know from where in that pack. It's going to be exciting to watch nonetheless, but got to come out of Charlotte with a good enough gap towards the top of the standings. And I mean, we mentioned it. Cabry's leading by just 2 points, and then Conrath is 10 points back. And then Trevor Edwards, Jeremy Miller, Slaughter, Hayden Swank, Beckner, they're all within reach. I mean, those towards the back, like Beckner, Slaughter, Swank, they're a good bit of ways back, but it's still enough to where if they win, they'll put themselves in a closer spot towards the top after Charlotte.
Yeah, and again, just refreshing the points there on the screen so you have the visual of what Hunter is referring to there. I would realistically say anybody who is within 30 or so points has a feasible shot at it. And of the 3 championships here in area this series, this chase season, would say the trucks definitely have the closest ball game to watch here this evening. But we'll wait for the end of warm-up, and then we'll lead down into our Central Mobile Homes starting line. Of course, if you're looking for a new home, shed, or Triple Crown trailer, wowza, look no further than Central Mobile Homes, serving Florida customers for 30 years with a plethora of those floor plans, shed designs, and Triple Crown trailers in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring. You can head to centralmobilehomesinc.com. Looks like we will run this through. And just quickly checking out the weather here in virtual Concord. We are 79 air, 82 track. We'll keep that in our noggin, watching it go down as the race continues. But 8:13, we will be most likely finishing this under the lights, Hunter. So the grip will go up, and we know what happens when these drivers have more grip.
Yeah, more grip, better speeds for the trucks, and a lot more places that you can take that truck to.
And we'll see how that happens later in the race. But now we got to go down trackside for that Central Mobile Homes Inc. starting lineup. It's going to be JT Poole trying to get another win on the season for himself, and he'll do it from the pole with Garrett Conrath trying to recover from that starting park there last week. He's second here today. Another Garrett in the form of Grant in third, and Alex Chilcutt in fourth. Fifth, we'll find Jonathan Evans, and then Dante Curtis going to be in sixth. Seventh, we'll find Corey Bodie with Cody Dempster in eighth. Rounding out our top 10, we'll find Danny Ware and Zach Carr.
And then missing out on that top 10, points leader Cole Cabry going to start 11th. Josh Parrish next to him in the 12th position, and then over in 13th, find Jalen Hankamp in the number 67. Next to him, Trevor Edwards in the 14th position, and then, holy cow, my computer just almost glitched out. Travis Beckner, 15th. Jacob Bell, 16th. 17th, we'll find Hayden Swank in the number 70. Ben Pierce next to him in 18th, and then Jeremy Miller starting deep in the field in 19th, and Brian Noel in 20th.
We'll round out our 32 trucks. We got Kyle Taub, 21st. Brad Slaughter, another chaser, in 22nd. Ryan Nowicki in 23rd with Bryce Senesac. He's in 24th. We find Jeff Wilson and Joseph Swan 25th and 26th. And then we have Hartman, Grant Brown, Chase Swank, Zach Nerney, Chris Seidenfaden, and Ryan Swan, a chaser, but doing it from shotgun on the field. Now, not necessarily shotgun on the field, because we do have our list of penalties there, Hunter, but a lot of those drivers aren't necessarily here. But we do have Swan, Bodie, Brown, Hale, Swank, Nowicki, Bell, Hartman, and Andrew all with the EOLs. And I think the only one who's here with the drive-through is Travis Beckner.
Yeah, Beckner's here. Nowicki, Bell, they're also here. Chase Swank, I want to say he is here. I'm pretty sure he is. We just did the lineup. Ryan Andrew, I believe he's here as well.
Well, I was referred to the drive-throughs. I think it's only Chase, only Travis Beckner.
I was looking at the whole shindig. Joseph Swan is here, so he'll be at the back. Boy, I think all of Sleppy Motorsports will be starting at the rear of the field.
Well, I mean, they'll get those passing points. I know that's not a thing, but I always have to say this preemptively. If you're a family member, you're saying, why is it so dark? We are transitioning into the lights, and they should be turning on within about 5 virtual minutes. The lighting model here on iRacing does struggle with these times of day changes, so you will see a random flash really within a couple minutes, and then we should have night lighting for the rest of the race, but it will be dark at least for the next couple minutes. But we'll head down. We already talked about the weather. Of course, our race details all within normality here. 100% fuel load, 4 sets of good years, no backup in fixed sets, and we well know in the truck series we do have 3 green white checkers if we need them.
You might need them, judging from the history that we've had this season so far. I mean, we've only had it at this track for seasons 5 and 6, and looking back, we haven't used them yet in the chase so far. Chicagoland was a natural green white checker, so it wasn't in our 3 attempts at that, but throughout the course of the season, we've had green white checker attempts at Daytona, Homestead, Las Vegas, Michigan, which we used all 3 and ended under yellow, the only time that's happened this season, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Kansas, skipped over Darlington somehow, so Darlington, Milwaukee, Kansas, and then Talladega is the most recent race this season where we've had to use green white checker attempts.
We'll see what happens, because Charlotte can go either way. This could be a race that has a long green flag run if we can get through that period of pack racing. Sometimes, though, we don't get rid of it, and these guys stay stacked on each other's tails for the duration. Again, 120 laps. We aren't given any specific fuel numbers or tire numbers. I'm going to guess around 55, 60 laps on fuel, but I mean, so by that logic, could be a one-stop race. Truck tires do tend to fall off about a second and a half, so I'll expect that to be a factor here today. And you can see that long line up there, tail of the field. All of those are the drive-through guys. That's why they're all single file at the back of the field. But here we go up front. It's going to be JT Poole as the control vehicle here, the pole sitter. He chose the outside lane, so he'll be firing off from the left side of your screen. Conrath to his inside in P2. Round number 3 of the area truck chase about to go live here from America's home of racing. In the start box, Barney has the flag at hand, and let's go racing at Charlotte.
Well, JP Poole might have been the control truck, but he did not get the start that he needed. Conrad's going to take that advantage away, and then Garrett Green in the number 5 there, going to give him a run for his money on that inside lane. Good spot for him. Jonathan Evans behind him as well, as they're mostly 2-2 in the 3.
Now Garrett Grant with a season best start, at least to my knowledge here, seeing him run up there in the top 5. Haven't seen too much of that, but glad to see it. Trying to use that inside lane, but the momentum is stagnated out. Poole will clear to the outside. Now Jonathan Dante Curtis, pardon me, in that 03 getting the run there. Looks like that top groove is where you want to be Number 70, Hayden Swank, pulling to the inside of the track, and Travis Beckner, there he is serving his penalty.
I was curious if that was him that was really slow on the apron through 3 and 4. I'm not sure if that was or not, but there was a moment there on the initial lap, but could have been him, could be wrong, but he will be serving that drive-through, get that out of the way, and then he'll have over 100 laps to correct his wrongdoings and try to make a good recovery. In the meantime, some guys back here of note, Brad Slaughter there in the 81, looking inside Hayden Swank, trying to move up in position, and then Ryan Swan, we mentioned him, he mentioned it, shotgun on the field. It'll say P32, but he is up to P16 at the moment.
And just, I mean, with the amount of drivers that had penalties, you know, that put him up to halfway into the field here. So that is obviously good for him. Going a little bit further up, you find Chase Cabrey, you find Jonathan Evans. Looks like Evans going to the outside of Garrett Grant, who is in a quick slide here. A little bit of a bump draft there. Cabrey to Grant. Now Grant going to the bottom of the track, and did see in the Cup race that paint on the inside of the track, that blue painted line, caused a lot of drivers to spin out the other day. We'll see if that happens here today, as here comes JT Poole going back for the lead.
Yeah, he's looking to take that top spot on the inside lane. Conrath going to get the run on the outside to keep him in front for the time being, and Poole can go in line if he wants to, but Dante Curtis in the third spot looking to make up some ground. As apologies for the leaderboard, I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it was the blue paint that he was talking about. That's kids infected the ticker, the blue paint.
All right, well, I don't know. It only does that for the Truck Series for some reason. The whole Cup race last night didn't do that little glitch that it does occasionally, but now it's back to where it should be. Jonathan Evans using that outside lane. The outside lane in the trucks definitely comes into play a little bit more. These trucks are very momentum-based, so anything you can do to keep momentum built up certainly going to benefit you here. And Cody Dempster doing just that, trying to get that momentum in the middle lane, get the run off the corner. JT Poole was going for the lead. Now he's going to have to fight to hold on for second.
Let him have that outside lane if he wants to. Poole's going to keep his truck low. Cody Dempster will take it to the outside of the 82 truck, and they'll be door-to-door for position down the back. And there you see the momentum. It's not as severe as it is, say, Michigan, where if you're not in the proper lane that's getting the momentum and the push, you're going to be screwed. But Charlotte is not the case at the mile and a half, so he can get back in the line, stay third for the time being. One truck out there trying to make his way back inside the top 5 was Garrett Grant in the 5. Tried to go around Cole Cabrey there, but to no avail. And up front, Cody Dempster's going to have a run to the inside of Conrath for the lead.
Yeah, Conrath ran the middle, but that will give him the momentum to fight off the challenge for the time being. But now we'll change lanes here through 3 and 4. Let's see if that momentum from the top comes through on corner exit. There we go, and you can see it. Will Conrath fight the top off? Looks like the momentum kind of stagnated, and or Dempster backed out of it, but a little kiss to the wall through the quad oval.
Going to be looking 3 wide here possibly. That 49 truck is all the way up top. They'll have the preferred line and the momentum to carry him down the back, and Dempster will settle in, so will Poole. Dante Curtis all over the bumper of that 82 truck, and Cole Cabrey's now inside the top 5, finally getting around Jonathan Evans in the 26 truck there. And right in front of him there, you saw the 03 of Curtis looking to get the massive push to the 82 of Poole. But behind them for the top 10 position, or inside the top 10, Carr to the inside, Ben Pierce on the outside, and mentioned it, Brad Slaughter, he was 15th. Now he's creeping up. He's inside that top 10, and he's looking to get closer towards that top 5. Why not? 3 wide for the position going into 3.
Let's see how that'll work. The bottom in 3 and 4, usually not the best place to be, and I saw a little bit of a wiggle from him, and they're going to be a tight 2 wide, almost 3 on exit. Zach Carr had to leave a little bit of space there. Just behind that, you have Danny Ware in a Chase driver denoted in that yellow highlight on the ticker. Josh Parrish behind him as well, as this is the pack racing that is fun to watch, but this is the pack racing they're onto that is kind of scary, especially if you're trying to make sure you have no issues tonight.
Yeah, this is the kind of racing that we were expected to see. A lot of these trucks close quarters racing, and little 2-car tango up there with Conrath and Dempster in the 24. Both guys trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field, and Dempster will take his truck to the outside lane. But for the most part, Conrad, Dempster, Cabrey, the only chasers that are inside the top 5. Some more are still making their way towards the front. The Slaughter up to 9th as they were all over the place back there from Danny Ware on back. Not sure if someone might have gotten the wall or got loose, but 10th on back, they're starting to get a little more bunched up.
That was Trevor Edwards involved as well. I think perhaps Josh Parrish, yes, indeed. They were having a good little joust there. Going a little further back even still. Actually, let's cut that thought because Garrett Conrath and Cody Dempster. Dempster got to the outside and got a big wiggle off of 2, but kept the momentum. Should be in the catbird seat entering 3 unless Conrath can make something happen on that blue line. All the way up to the wall was the 24.
And Dempster is going to have the run. Poole is trying to get it to the 49 truck before they get into 1 and 2. And pretty good draft up to the bumper there for Poole in the 82. And he's thinking about taking it 3. Can't quite get there yet, but that outside lane, loose as it may be, Dempster is going to hold on to the lead for the time being. Poole going to be on the outside of Conrath now, heading into 3.
Outside lane certainly working. Oh, that is what you call a high lane, but that was too high there. Conrath was able to take advantage, get better momentum on the bottom of the racetrack. Actually, I guess not, because here comes JT Poole with the push. That's tandem drafting at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Trying to go Bob's your uncle 2 for 1. JT Poole going to the inside. Here comes Cole Cabrey wrapping the top. Garrett Conrath all of a sudden in parachute mode. We're wrecking.
Poole's going to hit the inside wall. The yellow is yet to come out. It might not come out. He's back going. He's slow, but he's going.
Yeah, that was one of those he spun off the track situations there. Let's see. He's had so much momentum off the corner. I mean, kind of just hard to tell. We'll get one quick look here because we are still green. We'll get a look from the front bumper cam of Cole Cabrey. Here we are on board the 54. How tight was that off of turn number 2? I mean, I think he had this. I think he had, it was a tight call for Poole, but I think the 54 had the space there.
Yeah, you can see the 82 was loose and coming up. He didn't come up all the way, though, and that's what led Cabrey to staying on the outside. And then when Poole decided to go up, it was a little too late. But unfortunate for him, no yellow, and it's going to put Cabrey in the better spot now. He's up to 2nd. He's going to look for that lead from Cody Dempster. It's 82. He's still running on track, but well a bit ways off the field.
Yeah, he is about 11 or so seconds off of the lead here, but up front, we're 17 laps in. Right now, let's take a look at our fall off. I called about 1.5 seconds as my barbaric guess. And in actuality, well, I guess I'm right on target, right about 1.5 seconds fall off. Again, I don't know the fuel run, but it's going to be at least 50 laps, so we'll see how that works out. Can they make it to halfway? Will we need to get to halfway? Starting to string things out just a little bit here. But look at Brad Slaughter. I don't know if you just referenced him or not, but he's now up to 3rd. Jonathan Evans up to 4th. And Garrett Conrath, he is really going to have to watch out because he's dropping back, and we're Conga line back to the 13th spot.
Yeah, I think Slaughter was the big winner from all that because they all had to check up whenever Poole and Cabrey had their incident coming out too, and Slaughter was in the back half of that top 10, and he didn't check up, and he was able to get his way around the carnage, and now he's in a good spot in 3rd. He's got Conrath looking to the inside again, trying to stop the bleeding, but Jonathan Evans looking to get around on that outside lane, but he won't. He'll just shove the bumper of Conrath. For now, Carr has moved up to 6th as well. Garrett Graham kind of stayed in 7th. He's got Dante Curtis to the inside of him in 8th, and then Trevor Edwards, mentioned him, another chase contender inside the top 10. He's got Josh Parrish close to him.
That's the last time by. Garrett Conrath just about hit the wall there, really using that extreme high lane, depending on that aero bubble, we call it. As Cody Dempster has temporarily despawned out of the iRacing world, some connection issues. Will he spawn back into place? I don't even know if I want him to at this point because it may cause a massive wreck. So that is a huge just change in positions. The 24 is no longer with us here in the world. in the sim anyways. He's with us on planet Earth.
Indeed. As that is unfortunate for him. It's going to shake up the standings a bit too. But for the time being, Conrath back in the lead. Cabry in second. Evans trying to get around Slaughter now for third. The 81 truck is going to get some help on the outside lane, some momentum from the 5 of Grant, but it's not enough. Evans will clear the 81 coming out 2.
Yep, and he's making some good headway here. Let's remind ourselves of where Jonathan Evans started here. Well, he's technically started in third, but dropped a little bit further back, maybe saved those tires, and now he's receiving the fruits of his labor there, saving the tires and coming to the front later in the race. Dante Curtis, he is making a charge back through the field. We're seeing that famous comers and goers situation as Garrett Conrath, didn't I just say he was on a downward spiral? Well, he's all of a sudden gone back to the lead.
Yeah, and Slaughter now is making his way towards the back again. He's falling down to 5th. He's got Carr looking to the inside of him for that spot. Meanwhile, Cabry on the outside. Evans on the inside at 26, still trying to make his way closer towards the front. Conrath, though, jumping out 0.3 of a second away from second place.
And maybe he just had to cool the tires down or whatever it may have been. But yeah, at 49, he was down to 5th, and all of a sudden now back up front. So the pack, again, I don't want to say we're calming down, but we are slowly spreading out a little bit, and that's kind of what you expect here, mid-late run. All the way to the top of the track, really hitting that wall line well, Cole Cabry, but the momentum really didn't sustain from it. Jonathan Evans was able to stay right with him there, even running the bottom.
Yeah, Kurz is joining the party here. 3 truck lengths back is the 54 of Cabry. Again, a great showing for the points leader here heading into this one. Conrath, though, doing everything he can to try and close the gap down by leading at the moment. And again, Evans, Curtis, these guys, they're up here to just run well, and if they're in a position to win, they're going to go ahead and take it. Same with Zach Carr and Handcamp now to the inside of Brad Slaughter, looking to get him for that 6th position. 7th is where the 81's at right now. And Garrett Grant, props to him. He's been inside the top 10 this entire run, literally this entire time. I thought at the beginning he was fading a bit, thought that he was going to fade further back, but to no avail, as Cole Cabry now going to lose 2nd and 3rd to Evans and Curtis.
Yeah, he had a wiggle there off of turn number 2, and as you can tell, lost all of his momentum. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, that's what happens in these trucks. They are very momentum based, and anything you do that loses you momentum, it's kind of exponential compared to what you'll see in the Cup car or even the O'Reilly car. But here's Dante Curtis down to the inside of Jonathan Evans, and we do have side draft here in these trucks. He couldn't stay on the quarter panel, falls back in line, but he lost his momentum, and that pulled Cole Cabry back into play. He's using that super high lane, and I just don't think he has it fully mastered yet because he's not getting that run on exit.
He has not, and we're close to 30 laps in on our run now, and we're looking at least 1.5 to maybe 2 seconds of fall off, depending on who or where you're at in the field, really. But tire wear is starting to become a little bit of a factor as the run continues to go on. No yellow yet, as we're about to reach our quarter of the way mark complete in this one. And Conrath has had an up and down day, but right now it's up 0.4 on the field.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what it was that sent him back to the 5th spot, but he has obviously sorted out that issue. Let's see where he's running this time by. See, he is running a little bit more cautiously, unlike Cole Cabry, who's right up there to the fence. So, as you know, you try to find that real estate that has more grip. Here goes Cole Cabry with the elevator move top to bottom. I guess maybe he did tinker that high lane and figure it out what he was missing. He got the run now underneath Dante. A little bit of a wiggle down to the inside. Let's see Zach Carr. He's now joining the chat here, trying to see what he can do. He'll go to the inside of Cole, who is looking to gain a spot, now losing one.
Yeah, the 27 looking low. 54, again, he's still trying to keep that outside lane rolling, and he's going to go all the way low with that momentum. And meanwhile, up front, they're going to go door-to-door for a second. Evans and Dante Curtis going for position as well, as we saw the 54 lunge it ahead of the car. Car's going to cross him back. We're door-to-door for second. We're door-to-door for fourth. And then here comes sixth place. Handcam trying to join the party.
Now, this is what we saw last night. We saw those divers. We saw those crossover moves really become prominent, and seeing that here today. Zach Carr, will he be clear enough? I think he is clear. No, he's not, by a whisker. And there comes the momentum from Cole. Let's see what approach Zach Carr will do. He won't send anything in viciously there. That'll keep them side by side still off of 4, and they are dropping back. They are losing time to that top trio, but Dante Curtis, here he goes. I mean, what a phenomenal late run charge here for that 03 truck.
Yeah, still trying to get it going and rolling through on the inside lane. There is Evans trying to get to the 03, but Curtis looking to get that draft, and Conrad still keeping that outside lane all to himself, but Curtis will be low enough and might even lead this lap.
I mean, literally, you'd think he has fresher tires than the rest of the field, but he has really just done a fabulous job. I mean, I haven't seen, this is unlike anything I've seen from Dante this season. Only 4 top 10s on the season for Dante Curtis. Someone can see kind of in and around the edge of the top 10, but absolutely, I haven't seen a race-winning performance from him this season that memory recalls, but certainly he's putting a show on for that today in our first caution of the race. Grant Brown.
Oh. Hello.
Oh, it's Chris Seidenfaden, just absolutely innocent bystander there. But yeah, this turned into one of those classic who came up, who came down scenarios. I'm just going to give a little bit to the 14 there of coming down, but that was a really tight call. We'll see what admin does as the call, but 34 laps of green flag racing and some good stuff there. We were just on the cusp of strategy maybe coming into play, but now we'll have the full field on pit road for 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, this is going to be big for some of those guys that were able to get some track position early in the going. Slaughter jumped up 13 spots from the initial starts. Ryan Swan was up about 16 spots from the start of the race, so they'll have some better track position to use with their fresh tires, and at least under yellow you shouldn't have too many issues getting into your pit box. It's just if we have green flag pit stops. Now I thought that run was going to go long enough to where we would have green flag stops, but that was not the case.
Yeah, we could have had stops, but you know, the 2-stop, 1-stop race, but that is all in the toilet now. Looks like Garrett Conrath will get out of pit road first there. Dante Curtis not able to retain said lead, and admin seeing the 71 as the at fault there. Of course, I only got one quick glance at it. Admin was able to look at it in a higher level of detail, so they are going to give it to Chase Swank, who has already exited the race, and Garrett Grant still on track.
Garrett Grant, did he not pit? Or Conrath? You said I heard Grant.
I meant to say Grant Brown. Too many G's here in the race. 71 and 14 obviously involved in the wreck. 71 behind the wall, 14 still on the track. That's what I meant to say. Juxta to whatever I did actually say in actuality. Perfect segue to do a sponsor read, because I always struggle through those too. If you want to look nice and fly and also support the league, you can go to shop.areairacing.com. Get your high-quality merch at low prices. Adidas clothing, other accessories, hats, t-shirts, and the like. And you can head to shop.areairacing.com to suit yourself up with that drip but we are getting ready. Lap number 36, just about 1/3 distance complete.
Yeah, it's been a fun one so far. Again, only one yellow, and I think it has led to the retirements of Swank and Steinfeiden, which, unfortunate for Chris, he was a innocent bystander and all that. So we still have 29 trucks out there, 27 of which are on the lead lap. Mentioned Chilcutt, he gets the free pass, or he'll take the wave around. Either way, he went from 3 laps down to only 2 down, and it's big for him because we're looking at the standings. He entered tonight only 2 points behind Cole Cabry, and maybe he was the truck that had the issue in the beginning. I could have been wrong on that, but
yeah, nothing comes to mind with what his issues. So yeah, try to get clarification on that.
Regardless of that, he'll have 2 laps to get back and then some track position in the next 80+ laps of this one, as we're about to go back green with Garrett Conrath leading the field to the line.
And he will get the whole shot. Remember the opening start of the race, the outside was the whole launch line. They did not go at all, but Conrath gets the whole shot. Jonathan Evans going to fight for second. We know what kind of pace Dante Curtis has on the long run. Can he dial that into the short run? Somebody to the inside on the back straightaway. That was Josh Parrish. I think maybe thought we were at the Roval here, the way he ran his line there on the backstretch. Quickly, we'll check that out. Painted the line, yeah, talked about that.
Hit the apron and caused a massive checkup there on the lanes below, and whoever was on the outside, they got a few more positions from that, and, well, Yellow's back out.
Joseph Swan in the 18, and he has, well, he's not just despawning from the world, he's having some kind of connectivity issues. Let's see what happened to him. Now, obviously, on a restart, you're in the middle of a humongous pack. Oh. Have to look and see.
Lost it from the quad oval.
See if somebody gave him the old punteros, no punterinos, but see if it's that JT Pool. Oh, that'd be a hard yes.
Bootscoon boogie to the inside wall.
And good evasive maneuvering by a few drivers there to evade absolute cataclysmic carnage in 1 and 2. But yeah, we will go back under caution here, and gives us the opportunity to talk about another one of our partners here with Area, and that is, of course, the sponsor that is on that number 20, Rick's Hot Sauce. You can head to rickshotsauce.com. You can try the golden garlic, Palm Beach pineapple, South Beach heat, some of the best hot sauces from South Florida. And, of course, they are sponsoring that Rookie of the Year prize on Mondays. You'll soon find an answer to who's going to win that. But get yourself that bottle of hot sauce at rickshotsauce.com. And looks like we'll have a little bit longer of a yellow than anticipated. So while this yellow does play through, we'll just quickly step aside for a brief break and be back with you for the restart. So please stay with us. And we're back here, Area Truck Series Chase Race number 3 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Corey Silva and Hunter Sleppy in the booth here after our second caution of the race, just past the 1/3 distance mark. Garrett Conrath and Dante Curtis on the front row, taking us back to green.
Good jump there from the 49 of Conrath, and trucks behind her. One was looking 3 wide. That was the 67 of Handcamp, but to no avail there. Brad Slaughter, however, he's going to take that risk on the outside, and, well, he won't get there. Door will be shut from Hayden Swank in the 70, but he was looking there in the meantime. Cole Cabry looking to get around that 26 of Evans on the outside, and then here comes Handcamp looking to take second way, but he is wiggling on the outside lane.
Yeah, we are on those colder tires. Now we're in a pack. Everybody's jumbled back up. The track is evolving as we drive off into the night. We didn't go into the night in the Cup race. We went just to the outskirts of it, but we will be going fully under the lights here in the truck. Somebody going all the way down to the bottom of the track there. I think that was Zach Nerney in the 66, and they are 3 wide. First time we've talked about Jacob Bell here today. That is a gaggle outside of the top 20. Some contact, 77 to 65.
Giving a little boost to the 65 of Ben Pierce. Trying to keep him in the running for it, but, well, they had a big moment right there. I'm not sure who that was in front of them or behind them, but Travis Beckton taking his way back. So we mentioned that he was a couple laps down, but now he's back on the lead lap. He's in the 14th spot, and he's looking to get around Kyle Tom in the 56.
And remember, he had that drive-through penalty, so obviously he has recovered from that. Of course, you won't catch him on Saturday at Hendry County. They are in their summer hiatus for about another month, but you can catch him on August 29th down there at Hendry County Motorsports Park for their night of fun and crazy racing they'll have going on. Family fun and entertainment. Head down to HendryRacing.com. But here we go up front. Jalen Handcamp power dive to the inside of the 60 of Garrett Conrath to take the lead.
Trying to get around him, and he did. And Conrath is going to hold his own in second for the time being, but caution's back out. Oh.
Well, was trying to make some kind of a joke there, somehow pertaining to the sponsor, but I would probably get myself in logistical trouble there, so we'll evade that. Oh, it was not.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, we need to go a little further back to find out how on earth that happened.
It was Logan Hartman. He hit the wall off of 4 and then was checked up. Ben Pierce right hooks him there, and then
whoa.
Do we dare
go crazy.
on? Do we dare go on board?
Yeah, might as well.
Get your air sick bag, folks. Here he comes through the quad oval.
Man.
Well, you'll see parts of that car on Facebook Marketplace tomorrow. Maybe you can get a signed Ryan Nowicki body part there, but whoa! We're not at the Roval, but they were just practicing their S-turns right there.
Yeah, and that's not the actual line that they use to determine, because I know a couple trucks went through it and then they went out of it. I believe there's a line that's further down where it's got a cone above it.
Yeah, well, just try to get a little replay of that here. Oh, I guess that camera does not work for that. Now, there is a commit line. I'm personally not positive on it, but I'm going to assume that real-life commitment line is not applicable here, because in the real world, that would have been, if you crossed that box, that would have been a penalty, but obviously they didn't. iRacing a little more lenient with that. I think it may just be the pit wall itself, but yes. We are 50 laps in, approximately 70 to go. Still would be out of a fuel range here, so I guess by that logic, pitting here really wouldn't serve you any justice, because you'd still have to make at least one more stop to finish the race out.
Yeah, still got a good bit of ways to go. Over 70 laps left in the running of this one at Charlotte, and after this, it's only 2 races left to crown a champion for the Truck Series, which after this we'll be going to North Wilkesboro, and then we'll be going to Auto Club to crown a champion for Season 8. Now, Handcamp leading. He's looking to become the 8th different driver to win in the Truck Series here at Charlotte. We've had a different winner in each of our 7 seasons at this track, the most recent of which is Garrett Conrath. He'll be restarting on the outside lane of that, looking to assume control of the points lead and try to go back-to-back for championships, but man behind him going to be restarting second on that inside lane. So third overall, Cole Cabry in the 54. He entered tonight 2 points above Alex Chilcutt. Chilcutt's has some issues, but Conrath are 10 points behind, so those two are giving themselves a run for each other's money. And then throughout the rest of the field, or the rest of the running order up here, Dante Curtis, Jonathan Evans, they are not chase contenders, but Hayden Swank is. And Hayden Swank looking to inch closer towards a top 5 showing. And again, he needed a good run tonight because he entered 33 points back and doing a pretty good job of it. But Cabry and Conrath being up there, he's going to want them to be a few positions back in order to have a better shot at the title.
And of course, Cole Cabry traditionally is really good at the short track, so you don't want to give him a comfort level in the points, then send him to a short track where I expect him to certainly really contend and probably be one of the favorites next week at North Wilkesboro. But Jalen Handcamp, he will be the control vehicle this time through into the restart box on that inside lane. He'll have the push from the 54 to assist him, and there he goes. A little bit of wheel spin, but gets on the loud pedal enough to clear. And Cole Cabry, they follow him through for second.
Try to. Hayden Swank trying to jump up on the outside lane. Try to cut off the 81 of Slaughter in the back, and Handcamp will have that spot for the time being. Cabry and Conrath door to door. Curtis going to give the push to the outside in Conrath's position, so good spot for him there. Swank jumping up again, trying to cut off the 81 of Slaughter, but he'll have a strong run on the inside of Dante Curtis, looking to take away 4th potentially, but to no avail as they're door to door in front of him. And now Slaughter going to be on the outside of that 70 truck going into 1.
Yeah, but that's again where the momentum is, and there's a wiggle from Hayden Swank to the bottom of the track with the 81 to the outside. Will cost him a lot of momentum there down the backstretch. Look at how many drivers driving on through. Zach Carr, Garrett Grant. First time we've talked about Corey Bodie. We got Brian Noel here up front. JT Poole, he's trying to recover from that initial spin, and that was a huge wall contact there from the 44. Little commentator's jinx there.
It looked like Ryan Swan got a piece of the wall back there as well. Looked like he was just following the truck in front of him. That just so happened to hit the wall, so unfortunate there, but he's still going. Bodie's still going well in that number 44 truck. Swan will look to the inside of him, though, and they're door-to-door in front still. And look who's almost in the top 5. It's Travis Beckner in the 28. He's driven up to the top 10 after going a lap or 2 down from serving his drive-through at the beginning of this race, and he has recovered quite nicely as we're working to the halfway point of the race.
Yes, indeed he is. And I'm seeing Grant Brown peak a 3 wide. Remember, he was involved in that spin a couple cautions ago. Now in the middle of a 3 wide. 35 Danny Ware to the inside. This will not be a good points day for him. We are 3, almost 4 wide here. Coming through turn 3 and 4. Zach Nerney all the way to the top 3 wide through the quad oval is not pretty. Still not pretty. But we somehow survived.
For now. Things are somewhat calming down. There's Travis Beckner. He's looking to have a run on the inside of Zach Carr here for the 6th position, and he's going to do just that. That was the 7 of Noel. That was behind him, trying to get him a good run or try to get around him, but Hayden Swank in 9th, and then 10th place up for grabs back there. Garrett Grant taking it from JT Poole. Corey Bodie still there as well. The number 44, Ryan Swan again still there in the number 20 truck as we're on board with the 5 of Grant. giving up that spot to Hayden Swank for the JT Poole.
Remember, Garrett Grant there started on the podium in that third spot, but fell to the back, kind of worked his way back up, but I think he is one of those drivers really pushing that long run, and we'll see if those long run drivers still have that same pace now that we are going under the lights, track evolving a bit. You might not need to have as much long run pace because you might have more grip to last you later in the run. So we'll see how those dynamics play. But 26, Jonathan Evans, power move to the inside, was 3 wide for a moment. Kyle Taub, he is battling. There's again Danny Ware, Cody Dempster. Looks like he has joined the world again and is on the lead lap after that connection issue, trying to get back to the front.
Yeah, working on through. Trying to make the most of his position and doing an okay job so far. Again, we're close to the halfway point of this race. A lot of single file throughout the field here. The 67 of Handcamp has stretched out to the biggest lead we've seen so far today. A full second in front of Garrett Conrath as he's trying to close the gap down. Cole Cabry running in third with a gaggle of cars behind him, including Brad Slaughter, Travis Beckner, a couple chase contenders, Hayden Swank up there in the top 10 as well.
Yes, spreading out a little bit, and we'll just see is what the 67 is doing. Is that sustainable? Will he drop back into the clutches of Conrath, or will we see Cabry? He has broken the kind of the draft of the 03 just a little bit. Can he drive off? Because right now the 03 certainly in a big fight with Brad Slaughter, who has now got to his outside. And coming through the corner here, looks like Slaughter will take that momentum from the top, and he will use it to get to that 4th spot and clear.
Clears for the time being as
Seven.
Brian Noel looking to send it beneath the 27 of Zach Carr there, but it's no avail, and he will back off for the time being. JT Poole having a run to the inside of Hayden Swank there in the 70. Ryan Swan in the 20. Again, moving on towards the front. A 1 spot shy of that top 10 as Poole's going to lose some momentum on that inside, and Swan will just carry it into the 70 of Hayden Swank. Jonathan Evans there as well. Corey Bodie there. Garrett Grant's actually falling back to 14th. Might lose it to Cody Dempster there in the 24 truck.
Yeah, again, I can't really fathom a strategy to this because there's no way under the sun that they'll be able to make it to the end on fuel. So maybe he is just really saving the tires and trying to evade anything that can go wrong in this lead pack, or rather, I'd say just outside of the lead pack. We go from 3rd to who is the back truck in that? Maybe it is Garrett Grant. 3rd to about 15th here, separated by about a second, which is just utter calamity here. But some good racing going on here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in the Area Truck Series. Make sure you tune us again here on Thursday, same time, same place. We'll be back here for the Florida State Builders Pro Series right here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for race 3 of their chase. So if you like what you see, make sure you stay tuned. But here is the 26. That was 3 wide, down to 2. Evans to the inside of Hayden Swank.
Yeah, Evans moving on inside the top 10. A lot of guys shuffling in and out of the top 10 here as of late, and Evans being one of those shuffled in. Hayden Swank might be one of those shuffled out here in a minute if he can hold off the 7 and the 26. Meanwhile, Brad Slaughter again working on that outside lane. Travis Beckner, good run, going to follow him. Dante Curtis going to be left on the inside, and Ryan Swan again, he's moving on up. He's up into the 7th position. So a lot of trucks are starting to make their way closer towards the front, and those being lit up in yellow.
Yeah, those chase drivers coming to the front. Only one really in the back right now, Trevor Edwards. You can see him down there in 23rd. But Travis Beckner, we talked about him in his comeback tour here, and just talking about what we were talking about maybe 10 minutes ago there, Hunter. We talked about a 1-second lead for Handcamp, the biggest lead we've seen on the evening. Well, divide that by 3. Conrath has it down to 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, and I think that might have been what you were alluding to earlier. If he can keep that up, and it seemed like he's using a bit more tire and the longer we've gone on, the more that truck has started to fade, and the more the 49 has grown bigger and bigger into that rearview mirror of Handcamp, and only 2 truck lengths back now. Cole Cabrey salivating at that because he's about 2 truck lengths clear of Dante Curtis and Brad Slaughter behind them as they're doing battle, but he's looking to close this gap down, and if these two can get to battling, then that's really going to help Cabrey get closer towards the lead.
I see 0.3 of a second faster last time through. Just look at the gap. It is right there. 0.2 faster this last time. That is a drastic difference. But now passing him is the harder thing. He's going to open the door, though, to the inside. And if Conrad can make the bottom work, that is ultra impressive. Couldn't quite stay side by side for the side draft. And that is allowing Cole to gain a little bit of time. It's now under a second. It was about 1.1. Can Conrad get to the left rear? Can't do it. If he can get to the left rear, Hunter, he'll side draft him, but it's getting there, which is the hard part.
Yeah, absolutely, as he's going to look inside again, and I think more trucks behind Cabrey, they're starting to take note of this because he's closed the gap down. So is Dante Curtis, Travis Speckner. Again, Conrad can't get anything going. One truck loosened up in the wall back there. It looked like it was Corey Bodie in the 44 truck. They're keeping it going, though, and there's a gaggle here with Ryan Swan, Hayden Swank. Others 3 wide behind them, really close. You know, that 20 truck's been bouncing off the wall the last couple of laps, and maybe that might have something to do with it, but they're starting to get a little more spread out from the mid-pack here, and Conrad again, he's 1 truck length back from Handcamp, but Cabrey's there, Dante Curtis, Travis Speckner, and he just can't quite get a way around the Handcamp machine.
Let's see. Let's see if he's going to do the Charlotte diver. He's not. We saw it many times as Brian Noel. He was just in that lead draft we were talking about. But something happened to the 7 truck. And having a lot of wrecks on the straightaways today, Hunter. That might be the third
second one where it's gone into turn 3.
It's another one of those classic who came up, who came down situations, and I think Hayden Swank may have a really good view of this. One more look. Let's see if we can get a slightly different perspective. Yeah, I'd say the purple truck there was kind of Dempster. I think he was kind of invading that upper lane. So we'll see what admin calls, but I definitely think he was trying to go for that very strong side draft here. Puts us to 50 to go. I think that should put us in the ballpark to make it to the end of the race. So this may not be the last pit stop, but it's an important one just in case it is.
Indeed, as race controls deemed that a racing incident, and couldn't agree more with that. Couldn't really pinpoint blame on either party, but it's going to bring everyone back to pit road and mention it. 4 fresh tires on each truck, and then Goodyear, well, I almost said Goodyear Fuel. It's Goodyear Fuel, and that not being Goodyear. It's Sunoco Racing Fuel. So Goodyear tires, Sunoco Fuel. Don't think anyone will do 2 tires. There's still too many laps left in the race to do that, but it's really going to be a challenge for these guys if, how long they can make this set of tires last.
Yeah, and the person who really benefits from this is Jalen Handcamp, because now he gets another opportunity to shoot out of the cannon. And if anything, I'm actually really liking that number 67 right now, because if you just consider what is most likely to happen. Now, I could be wrong, but go with me on this. We're probably going to have another caution. Let's say we have another caution at 25 to 30 laps. If he can gain that lead, maybe lose it, pit for tires again, and have another short run to the end, this might be setting up for his strong suits.
Yeah, very well could be. Or we could just go into yellow after yellow after yellow, which I would hope not, but there's always a possibility for that.
Absolutely. And other things that there's a possibility for is that your pool needs to be cleaned. So you can head to Blue Tip Pool Builders. They can get your pool looking the way it needs to look. You could also get your dynamic lounging areas built or spiced up, as well as your outdoor kitchens. Get ready for entertaining here as we are midway through the summer. Head to bluetippools.com for more information. But we will now stack up for one to go. Worth noting, we do have 3 official retirees from the race: Hartman, Seidenfaden, and Swank. And basically, if you're not out of the race, you are on the lead lap and ready to race here. There's Nowicki after that absolutely ridiculous wreck, still on the lead lap.
Yep. In a better spot with all 4 tires on the ground rather than the left side of the truck in the air, one side on the pavement. But going to be a fun restart here. Looking at Handcamp and Conrath in the front row, Cole Carey, Dante Curtis, Evans, and Travis Beckner, who really has made a nice recovery after serving his drive-through. Now there's still a lot of laps left in the race. Would hope that he doesn't get any more points to keep that drive-through going for next week, and especially at North Wilkesboro, that'd be a tough one to overcome. But usually get a lot of yellows there, so it wouldn't be too hard to get laps back. But in the meantime, Handcamp, Conrath on the front row, bringing the field back to green with 49 laps remaining at the line.
There we go, and the whole shot again goes to the inside lane. Will Dante Curtis be able to go and grab that second spot? We'll find out here. Entering the corner, 54 really giving the 49 a shove. Will it be enough? It's going to be a big shove. It's going to be a shove into a wiggle. Conrath hanging on for dear life off of 2.
A lot of guys getting squirmy in the back, but up front, a lot more tight-knit racing with Conrath again on the outside. Cole Cavery behind him as well. Conrath a little bit too high. Cavery's going to be below him now, and Conrath going to have to rely on Jonathan Nevins to keep him in it, but the yellow's back out already.
Blaming you for that, Hunter. You said if this turns into a yellows-filled race, so I'm going to blame you, but something with Josh Parrish. Let's... Oh no, Corey Bodie, and then they met in the middle trying to evade. Oh, Bodie with the double whammy. You get in the initial wreck and then you just get body slammed well after the fact. Go back and... Oh, he lost it by himself right in front of Jacob Bell. Hit Jacob Bell. Bell was lucky not to spin. And again, boom. We were just talking about Corey Bodie earlier. He had driven himself up to the top 10 and was rather competitive. So obviously a little bit of a jinx there, unfortunately, but some pit stops to be had in the back of the field, namely drivers who have been in incidents here today and probably getting a little bit more damage repair done. But we're going to step aside for another side-by-side break. We'll be back with you guys for the restart. All right, back after another caution flag here at Charlotte. We are on lap 75, taking 76 here, entering the final third of today's 120 lapper for the chase, round number 3 here at Charlotte. Handcamp on the loud pedal with Dante Curtis to the outside, and Cole Cabry pulling out a line, looking to get something right off the get-go here. 67 will get the jump, and look at Cole Cabry. He has a head of steam.
Yeah, it seems like those first 5 trucks or so on the restart, they seem to get a good launch, and then about 7th on back, they just don't really get a good jump, and then they close back in down the backstretch and into 3 here with Hayden Swank up here, Slaughter, Poole, Swan, and then there is the 5 of Grant that's looking to get back inside the top 10 as well, as Cole Cabry's looking low and trying to get the lead away from Handcamp.
Now, and all the while, Conrad back to 5th there. That pit stop cycle didn't go good for him, and now he's all the way to the top of the track. But yeah, we did see the 54 drive underneath the 67, and we're wrecking again.
We're wrecking to the back. Looks like Senesac there. Could be wrong. Might be Danny Ware, but
Trevor Edwards. No,
it is back out again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not referencing the country song "When It Rains, It Pours" because it actually is absolutely like monsooning where I live right now. But in terms of the caution flags with this race, it certainly is starting to pour. Oh, Jacob Bell just got kamikaze there, and there goes, who's that to the top? I think that's Chilcutt. Yes, it is. But what was the initial cause that got that 32 out of shape? Oh, there's Chilcutt in the middle. Oh, yeah, they were just 3 wide with the 09 and just met in the middle there. There he is, just squeezing the gap there. Then the 09 kind of just, yeah, I don't think the 09 necessarily knew. And yeah, Jacob Bell, oof. Noel, Dempster, Swan, a little bit of a baby tap involved there. And we're back behind the pace truck.
All right, well, gonna have more yellow laps to log under, and really these guys haven't had a lot of use on their tires left since their last pit stop.
Yeah, we are, in terms of the stint, where are we at right now? We are 9 laps in since their last stop. Maybe they've had 2 laps of actual green flag, and fuel will not be a concern here, so they will be able to go to the end of the race on their current fuel loads. Now, will they... I guess if there is any question that I would have, and this is something that we saw last week at Bristol there, Hunter, where it kind of made or broke the race. You don't know what caution to stay out for. You don't know what caution to pit for. Because with the tire wear, you'd love to have fresh tires at some point in the race, but you don't want to give up track position, but you also don't want to stay out on tires that are super old. So if this does turn into one of these races, I guess they may have a decision to make.
Yeah, it might put them in a rough spot, especially with how these yellows have been falling. Really haven't had too many laps to use them in guys towards the rear. Go back up and contend up front. But Handcamp's enjoying it. The more laps they waste, the more that he doesn't have to use his tires and doesn't have to defend. He can just pace under yellow.
Yeah, because he has the short run pace. He drove out to the biggest gap we've seen this evening. And we didn't catch it on air, but there were some pleasantries assessed between a couple drivers on that caution sequence, and some major penalties to follow. So tempers a flare here today. I think more tempers maybe tonight than we even had at Bristol last week. which means what will be in store for us next week at North Wilkesboro. Heaven help us. But anyways, we are on one to go, and we will try this again.
Well,
and the commentators sound deflated. You know, it's getting a little rough.
I mean, this is the third time that we've had someone get suspended for the next week from some tomfoolery that happened or yellow. And again, it's another chase contender, which I don't understand it. It's baffling to me how it just continues to happen.
A lot on the line, money on the line, pride on the line, and sometimes, you know, our inner self takes over and puts us in bad spots. But hopefully we're not in a bad spot this time because we are on for a restart. Dante Curtis with the push to the back of the 67. Cole Cabrey will try to go to the outside, and looks like Jonathan Evans going to give him quite literally a push through 1 and 2.
And the 81 of Slaughter closed up real quick there on the bottom. On board with Jonathan Evans in the 26 truck looking to get going. 3 wide behind him, though, as Conrad's in the middle. Slaughter is low. Beckner is high. Then the 70 and the 20 are just watching onwards, and Swank thought about going forward. Can't really do it. Inside lane not really going, but Swan give it a momentum push to the 28 of Beckner, and Beckner's now inside the top 5.
Now 3 wide to the quad oval. Very dangerous there. Slaughter with a big wiggle off the corner. Now Hayden Swank and Zach Carr 3 wide down to 2. And Garrett Brown, pardon me. I keep Garrett Brown. Grant Brown. Good recovery there. Ryan Swan in the wall. Travis Beckner now in a 3 wide as well. But as I will try to utter, the 14, he was involved in a wreck, now drove himself up to the top 10.
He's using that mojo to his advantage and trying to get himself back in a good spot. And we're 3 wide down the back, and Conrath all the way low, Beckner middle, and Carr high, and now Truck high in the 81 of Slaughter, trying to get back inside the top 10 again. Meanwhile, this 20 truck of Swan, he's driven up to 5th. He's bounced off that turn 4 wall quite a few times tonight, but it might have made his truck better. He's trying to get around Dante Curtis for that position.
Yeah, he's trimming that truck out there, getting less of it in the air there as he'll wash up the track, and Curtis trying to maintain position to the top. He will do that. And now are they squeezing 3 wide in the wall?
Conrath in the wall.
Yeah.
Conrath was in a rough spot there, checking up for Curtis and Swan. He got put in the wall. Swan is loose on the apron, trying to save it, and he's going to do just that, but it's going to cost him a lot of positions. But it's better than having a wrecked truck, and unfortunate for him. We'll have to take a look at a replay of all that because that transpired so quick.
Yeah, with Garrett Conrath there off of the corner and down the straightaway. Let's see, just tried to go for the 3 wide, then kind of came across the nose of the 27, and that was all one thing there. But then the 20, I think, just kind of got loose on his own, and really was just...
He hit the 03. He hit his left rear, and then that's what kind of sent him on the apron into a spell of trying to keep that truck straight, and he did, but his best run of the night so far has diminished for the time being, but Conrath is still in there. So is the 03 of Curtis. They're both inside the top 5, and Jalen Handcamp is still leading.
Yeah, but he's not driving off into the moonset this time by. He still has a 2-truck length lead. And there goes Garrett Conrath after that sketchy 3 wide, has taken a deep breath, recovered, and ready to surge back through to the outside of Dante Curtis, making that outside lane work. He is the highest of anybody. And let's see, will that momentum come on corner exit? It will.
Yeah, good run for the 54 here going into 3, and same thing for Garrett Conrath in the 49 truck, and he's going to slide up in front of Dante Curtis there in the 03, and a lot of these guys are single file. Some of them having moments coming off of turn 4. Garen Graham might have been one of them, trying to hold on to that top 10 spot, but Poole looking low. And then in front of them, Cody Dempster in the 24 is trying to stay in front of those guys as Travis Beckner is trying to make his way back towards the top 10.
Yeah, and Cody Dempster got a good recovery. He was just kind of involved in that wreck Well, one of them had some minor contact, but obviously no damage that has deterred his truck at all. Conrath in third, right behind the number 54. They are still going at it. Mid-pack here, Kyle Taub, Josh Parrish side by side into the wall. I think that was Jeff Wilson. Yes, it was. Kept it straight enough to evade a wreck, but certainly not where you want to be. But up front here, Slaughter to the inside of Hayden Swank. That is 7th and 8th. Definitely looks like that outside lane is where you want to be here in the final quarter of this race.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the momentum that you carry off the corner and down the straights is just too much to overcome if you're on the bottom. So everyone's trying to go up there. Not too many chucks low, but some trying to go higher. That's the 49 of Conrath, and diamond it through turn 2 and give Cole Cabry a run for his money down the back. And he's going to push him and look low going into 3, try to see if he has enough momentum to complete a move, and it's not enough for now.
Just have to hope that, if this does stay green, which is a very large if, there are enough laps left where you do have to have some tire to play with. You can't just go full bore to the end of this race, because you will still pay the price. And I know that's just based on what we've witnessed. That's what the 67 is certainly going to fear. But someone like Conrath, Dante Curtis, definitely that's what they are looking for, is that long run to be able to come through and take advantage of it. But these drivers, they're right there. We're going. I don't think they're going to have to worry about that, because this is definitely hot stuff back here around 10.
Yeah, they're really dicing up back here. This is Jonathan Evans and Cody Dempster, 7th and 8th on the track back, and a little 3-wide, little wiggle back there, but it's calmed down now as Evans and Beckner now are going to do battle. 8th and 9th on the track. Slaughter trying to hold on to 10th from JT Poole in the 11th position. Garrett Grant closing in with Grant Brown behind him. And Kyle Taub, I believe, is the last truck in line in this pack.
Yep, he is down there in the 14th spot. Talked about Beckner getting up to the top 5. Kind of stagnated out here, now back to 8th. And in potential to drop a little bit further back than that. But still a good run to try to just persevere. And just to refresh anyone's memory and just, looking at the standings, this is where we came into today's race. Obviously looking good for Cole Cabry there. Conrath, again, trying to recover after his starting park that he had to do last week. And, of course, Jacob Harbert's not allowed to race here today. Ryan Swan was doing so well, but certainly we still will have tight points heading into Wilkesboro next week. And here we go again. Evans, Dempster getting aggressive here back in the top 10.
Yeah, in a good spot is the Dempster machine. He has had a solid showing tonight, right around the top 10 for a majority of this race, and trying to do just that. But JT Poole in front of him, Jonathan Evans below him, both inside the top 10, which is where Dempster wants to put that truck back in. They all up in front of them. The 81 of Slaughter has rejoined the top 10. Same with Travis Beckner, and Hayden Swank almost cleared himself in front of Travis Beckner there. It got really close, and that allowed the 82 to move on up on that outside lane. Slaughter looking low now, and a little paint being traded back there with Evans and Dempster.
I think we're seeing more paint traded here at Charlotte than we saw last week at Bristol, but looking at the lap times there on the board, about a half-tenth faster, Handcamp to Cabry. And something that I talk about all the time that does happen when the track cools down is it does sometimes take the top groove away, forces you to run lower because there's just more grip on the track. And when that happens, aero push is a lot worse, and it seems as though that 54 has hit that aero wall there, Hunter. He just struggles to get any closer than that.
Yeah, trying to do everything he can to get around the Handcamp machine, but saw this in the last long run that we had with Handcamp, and it's one truck just bouncing off that wall back there. It was Graham Brown in the 14, but Handcamp just went on the initial run, and then just over time, his truck started to get slower and slower, so I'm not sure if that's another thing that's happening, because the 54 has caught up with him. So they're closing in on the lap truck not too far down the road from him.
Chilcutt's well off the pace. He's running 4 seconds a lap off the pace here, so depending where he gets out of the way, this could certainly throw a wrench into things here, but we'll come through 3 and 4. They'll catch him here, probably right on exit. Here he comes into the shot. Where will Chilcutt blend out? Right dead center in the middle of the track. They'll get to the inside, but those other guys may have to tighten their line up to get around him.
Yeah, it's going to be real tight behind them there, and that's actually going to bring Cole Cabry in, and he's going to come up, but crossed over by the 67 of Hanekamp, and now Garrett Conrath is salivating. He's getting closer to this battle. They're hitting the wall back there, as a lot of guys are squarely around, I believe, the lap truck of Chilcutt, trying to collect themselves still from that, as Hanekamp now back in the lead, and Cabry down to second, Conrath in third, and then Dante Curtis trying to get around him on the inside lane, going into one.
Yeah, Cole Cabry got the run, and he just sent all bananas at it there, trying to get it. Crossover move, couldn't recover. And now Garrett Conrath looked at 3 wide, but chose better of it. Dante Curtis, we saw his long run pace. This is his time to shine as well. And this is also the time for Jalen Hanekamp to figure something out. Maybe he has saved some long run pace, but now 20 laps to go. Whatever you got, time to start unwinding it.
20 to go, and not really going to be many more laps to preserve your stuff, so you might as well use it while you can, especially if you're close to the front, and try to give Hanekamp another run for his money. 2 truck lengths back, and Cabry got a nice run off too, and down the back. He's going to close that gap nicely. It's the 03 and the 49. You see them door to door on the right hand side. Curtis low, Conrath high, and now Cabry looking low. The blinkage from Hanekamp is going to bring Cabry closer to the 67 truck. It's a lot of the field doing battle going into one.
And we are now seeing guys get off of the bottom of the track. I thought they were all glued to it. Now instantly the ball started to run buried lines here. And that turns us into a little bit of that old famous aero blocking situation. Where will Hanekamp run? Can Cabry evade it? Get some clean air on the nose? He will leave a lane open. Will the 67? 54 gets the run to the bottom. He can't get to the quarter panel, but now he may try to get to the outside lane. But that's going to open the door for Conrath to go to the bottom here. Maybe go 2 for 1. Dive for the 49 and try to pass the 54 and the 67 in one shot. Couldn't quite do it, and a big wiggle off the corner.
Oh, Curtis had a big run, but he could only give it to the bumper of Cole Cabry. Cabry looked like he wanted to do the same thing, but Conrath beat him to it. And still, the 67 is holding off Conrath and Cabry. 2 guys going at it for the championship, and all Hanekamp's trying to do is come home with a win.
And absolutely, you see the big picture behind you, but you don't care because you want to see yourself in victory lane. Conrath going to the inside again. Again, not enough to clear, but here is the tough part for Conrath. Can he get in front of the 54? He's going to force himself in front of the 54, get the push, and try to resurge and put another effort to make the move on the 67. There goes Conrath right up on his high lane. He's been doing it all race. Will the run come to him? It will. Now, where will he go with it?
If not now, then when? You got to take those evasive maneuvers, especially with the championship on the line. Oh, we're wrecking. Cabry's in the wall. Multiple trucks are spinning in 1 and 2. And it looks like we're still going. But that's huge. The 27 is slow off the pace, but Cole Cabry got a piece of that. The championship leader heading into this one has got some damage laying going at Charlotte.
Yeah, I'll try to cue that up here. We saw it kind of happen live. But obviously not what you want to see. I think there was it was a multifaceted incident here. 03 of Dante Curtis to the inside. Oh yeah, Zach Carr kind of got into the right rear, and that just in due course put the 54 into the wall, but doesn't seem to be affecting him much right now. And here we go with Conrath back to live pictures. Conrath will clear, gets right in front of the 67, dumps a ton of dirty air on the nose. That puts the 67 back to third, now even to fourth. Jonathan Evans going to be up here challenging for the race win.
And Cabry's coming back. It seems like, again, if you if you're a chase contender, you got some damage on you. It doesn't seem to be affecting you too much. We've seen it earlier tonight with Swan. Now we're seeing it with Cole Cabrey. I thought that damage was going to be more severe than what it has turned out to be, but he's still in a good spot here. He's in third and Evans is second, but Conrath jumped up to the lead with 13 to go across the stripe. Still some time left to decide a winner, and Evans trying to be that winner.
Yeah, I can't remember what manufacturer it was. Was it Chevy? Like a Rock? That's how that truck is made right now, because it's dealing with a lot being thrown at it here and still being rather competitive. Here's that parity up front for you. 3 of the 4 manufacturers up front right now. A Ford leading, a Toyota in second, and a Chevrolet currently running in third. And then we got a Dodge Ram down there in fifth with Travis Beckner. So there's that parity the NASCAR oh so loves. We'll close down on 12 laps to go. And that 26, clearly the faster truck right now, but does he have enough to get by? Big wiggle from the 49. May see a slider here into 3.
He's going to be looking low on the 49 of Conrath, and Evans going to be even with the 49, just about through 3 and 4. 49's trying to get the run on exit, and it's going to keep him there for the time being. But Cole Cabrey, he's joining the party. 11 laps to go from Charlotte as the 54 is looming in the back of the 49 and the 26 rear view mirror.
Really tough for Jonathan Evans there, painting that blue line. A little bit of a slide off of 2. Will he get back up to clear in front of the 54? He cannot. Cole Cabrey recovering after that little wall contact. Look at them, all 3 different lanes. All 3 of them have clean air. 49, huge slide. That will give Jonathan Evans the lead.
That's going to cost the 49 the lead, and it might cost him second, but they're going to be single file through 1 and 2, the first 5 trucks. But Beckner's looking low, still trying to find a way around the 67 of Handcamp. And then Cole Cabrey's trying to back up 1 and 2, get a nice run down the back. Handcamp just going to clear the 28 of Beckner, and the top 5 all within half a second of each other.
And Travis Beckner, again, he just kind of fell back, and now he's coming to shine here late in the race here at Charlotte. We'll pull up our race recap here. How many cautions have we had? We've had 6 of them for 18 laps. Cody Dempster being the fastest truck here on the evening. Seeing some great racing here. Here comes Cole Cabrey, dives underneath Garrett Conrath, gets the second spot back, crossover move. Conrath to the bottom. This is allowing Jonathan Evans to lick his chops here and extend that gap.
Yeah, they're catching another lap truck, and Ryan Nowicki just up the road. Conrath going to lose that spot. The Handcamp bouncing off the wall. Going to keep that third spot for the time being. Beckner still in fifth. Watching all this unfold, Nowicki getting all the way out of the way on the apron, staying out of harm's way, and Beckner's really sending it through 1 and 2, trying to get underneath Handcamp, and it's not going to be enough to keep him there. Here comes Conrath with a run down the back.
The frustrating part is Beckner, probably even still with only 8 laps to go, has a chance to get up there and contend for this race. He's really going to have to fight to keep that car off the 67, that truck off the 67. Barely did it. Here goes Conrath looking to the top 3 wide through the quad oval here. And get Beckner, just he knows he's fast, he just can't complete the pass, and that's a good recovery move there from Conrath to go back up 2 spots.
And he is still leaning on that 67, no! And we're wrecking down the back. Danny wears around into the wall. The yellow's going to come out with 7 laps to go. JT Poole spinning, and 1 truck looking low. That was Grant Brown in the 14 and navigating his way through that, but it's not going to be a green and white checker yet, but we might have a 3-lap shootout.
Yeah, we'll stay within regulation here. Thought that one was going to play out to the end, but we'll get them racked and stacked up again. Dempster at the top with a huge slide off the corner into the wall. Yeah, 24 was just out of control there, and JT Poole definitely felt that as well. And Grant Brown just doing some big evasive maneuvers. Everybody was spread out enough there where really wasn't too many drivers involved there, but this is going to put us in a spot probably going to go green with 3 to go, 4 to go. We've been on the track for 45 laps. Probably 30 of them have been under full race pace. You have to think someone is going to be crazy enough to take 2 tires here, Hunter.
I think now would be the perfect time to take 2 tires, honestly. They're
It
not going to
would.
have that many laps left.
Well, who will have practiced that very unbalanced race truck? We'll find out. The 60 is not on the lead lap right now, so do not mind him. Jonathan Evans is the one in, and this is going to be a very difficult pit call. You're going to want to take 4, but you know you may have to take 2. Let's see what Evans does. He's going to definitely go for the 4 tires,
Swank
pardon
took
me.
2.
Yep, Hayden Swank. Kyle Taub. I think that was about it.
Everybody else is taking 4. We didn't have anyone stay out, so Hayden Swank going to put himself in a good spot. Kyle Taub as well. Swank entered tonight. 33 points outside of the points lead, so if he can capitalize on this, possibly win, would be a huge statement for him going into North Wilkesboro.
Well, that's the positive side of the spectrum, and I do appreciate the optimism. But now we have to be realistic. So normally, Hunter, we always say that there's one advantageous row, but now we have both lanes held up by drivers on 2 tires. So now our biggest fear, or A, it's going to be, are we going to have wheel spin in a snap situation on throttle? And then B, let's say that doesn't happen. What lane do you want to be in if you're a 4-tire driver here, row 2 on back?
Oh, outside line, 100%. That's been the line to be in all night. Get the momentum off the corner and through. So we did get one to go off the line, so it will be a 4-lap dash. I still like the 2-tire call. You got to do something different to try and put yourself in a good spot, especially Hayden Swank with his situation in a chase, but Kyle Taub as well. Again, these guys that aren't going at it for the championship, they're just trying to win. And Kyle Taub decided to put himself in a good spot with a 2-tire call. He'll be restarting in the 2nd position in row 1. Conrath and Evans, both with 4 tires. And then Cavery Beckner, Garrett Grant, Handcamp. Danny Ware was involved in that wreck, and he's still 9th. Brad Slaughter in 10th. So those 2 still could have a good finish for their chase contention.
Absolutely. We'll see how this all transpires. It mainly determines how well will those top 2 fire off. Will there be enough speed for a 3-lap shootout? Again, we are within regulation. So if we do have another caution, that will put us onto one of our 3 green-white checkers, but we are still scheduled within the 120-lap main distance here this evening. It is going to be Hayden Swank on the outside lane as the control truck here. He'll fire off there on that outside lane, and let's see what happens behind. We'll come into the restart box here. Barney will get them waved down and ready to go back racing. Well, let's go.
And the 56 did not go. The 49's in the wall. The 70 really didn't get going either, and now they're really going to be mangled up going into turn 1. Conrath into the lead out of all this. Beckner rolling through on that top. Garrett Grant as well on the 5. They are 3 and 4 wide going through turn 2.
So the 49 got where he wants to be, but look at what we're doing behind. Is there any way we make it back to the white flag? 3 by 3 by 3, all trying to get around those drivers on the 2 tires. Couple drivers into the wall. Bumping,
no, we're
beating.
gonna wreck right here. We're wrecking right here. Oh my gosh, huge wreck.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint where that started, but it definitely just ate up a whole bunch of drivers here.
I mean, we need to probably go a little further back than this. Obviously, the 56 and the 70 truck, them taking 2 tires is what started all this, and them both not going, and it just kind of coagulated throughout the field. And I mean, it was bound to go bad at some point.
Yeah. And here we go through 3 and 4. Look at them squeezing 4 wide there. Danny Ware in the wall. Cole Cabry into the wall. Here we go. Cabry actually came off the wall down the track into the 56. And that really just stacked up everything. And they just kind of just kamikazed all across the track. But it really seemed to stem actually from Cole, unrelated, getting loose and bouncing off the fence.
Saw the 81 of Slaughter go and hit the inside retaining wall down there, and then big up in front of JT them. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, JT Poole just really got some hang time there. But where did that all blend out as the leaders? Or more or less back to where we started. And look who's now probably got off the best out of that. Travis Beckner. I don't see any damage. Got through clean. And now he's going to be in second heading into the first overtime.
Cole Cabry, Hayden Swank, Ryan Swan, the other chase contenders inside the top 10 from that. Gosh, there was so much to unpack from that one. Really, though, good spot for Travis Beckner to be. I mentioned that he entered tonight 35 points back. Probably needed some stuff to happen. And Chilcutt, Edwards, Miller not being here, Slaughter getting caught up in that wreck, that's going to bring Beckner up closer and closer. But Cabry and Conrath, they're still in contention. Conrath in a better spot as the leader. Hayden Swan, 2 tires, he's still up there. And then I mentioned Ryan Swan, he entered tonight 48 points back. He's probably going to need more stuff to happen, possibly in this race. Could be wrong. I mean, there's still time left, but needs stuff to happen in this race and then the next 2 weeks to have a better shot at closing in on the title. But it's still between Conrath and Cole Cabry, it's going to be real close after this one. If they continue where they're at right now, it's going to be real close to see who's in front of who.
Absolutely. Well, and for Cole Cabry, he finally cleared himself of incident points, but he was assessed the 2 points there for, again, he bounced off the wall down into traffic, which ultimately caused the wreck. So that means he's going to have an end of line next week at North Wilkesboro. So at a short track, starting at the back of what should be a chaotic race. Looking ahead, that is not going to be a pretty situation, but he'll have no choice but to work through it. But we'll come through now, take the 1 to green. We know the leader is going to get the jump. There really hasn't even been a close restart yet. But Travis Beckner, he's hungry. He's been looking for his first win of the season in any of these area series. And I'd say next to Homestead, which was way earlier in the season, back in like February, this is the closest he's been.
Yeah. Gosh, this is really going to be a good spot for a lot of guys to possibly pick up a win. And looking through at our previous history, again, mentioned it, we've had a winner in each of the first 7 seasons that we've been here at Charlotte. No one has won this race twice. Conrath looking to do so. Mentioned Travis Beckner up there in a really good spot. He has yet to win on the season as a whole. So if he would come through and win tonight, that would be huge for him. And then looking at it, Garrett Grant, it's been a long time since he's won anything in the area, but something could happen. He could be in a good spot. Jonathan Evans, he's won twice this season, but has not won at Charlotte yet.
Find out what happens in very short order here. Coming through the restart box for our first green-white checker. There's Conrath on the power, and I'll say that was a pretty good start from Travis Beckner. That's the best he could have asked for. Right down into second, right down behind Garrett Conrath.
Yeah. Single file through 1 and 2 for the first 2 drivers as Swan was blinking back there. Garrett in a pretty good spot to continue pacing as the leader. Travis Beckner, though, going to have to reel the gap in. He's going to have one more lap to do so.
And we'll get back under green flag conditions. Barney has the white flag in air and waving it here. We will finish this thing under green, diving off into the corner, 1/10 of a second back, trying to get whatever he can. But thus far, coming down the back, Garrett Conrath seems to have too big of a lead.
Oh, Hayden Swank in the wall. Ryan Swan's all over him back there as the 70 truck continues to bounce off the wall. through 3 and 4 for the final time. Garrett Conrad's going to assume the points lead, and he's going to be a 2-time winner at Charlotte. Garrett Conrad wins at Charlotte.
He will get that win, and I think we are getting ready to stack up here in the back of the field. But either way, Garrett Conrad with the win. Travis Beckner, a second. He needed that solid run. That'll help out in the points. And Jonathan Evans rounding out the podium in a very chaotic and temper-filled race here at Charlotte.
Where did my seeing things? Where did Cole Cabry go?
He was at 5th.
Was he not? Okay. I guess he just pulled off and got out real quick. I would have assumed his truck was still up there with them, but nonetheless, Garrett Conrad, a phenomenal drive this season and a phenomenal drive this race. He wins his 3rd race of the year and has gone back-to-back at Charlotte, en route to possibly going back-to-back as the championship winner.
Certainly help his efforts out to do just that. Garrett Conrad gets the win by a final margin there of 0.2 of a second over Travis Beckner. 3rd place, Jonathan Evans. Garrett Grant, I think one of his, probably the first top 5 of the season. Actually, no, his 2nd top 5 of the season. Cole Cabry with a 5th. Jeff Wilson gets up to 6th. Grant Brown, Ben Pierce, Zach Carr, and Cody Dempster. What an up and down day for him. He gets a 10th.
And solid top 10 for him. Ryan Swan missing out on that top 10. He got into Hayden Swank there on the last lap, coming out of 2. And Swan will finish 11th, Parrish 12th, Swank in 13th, Senesac 14th with Danny Ware 15th, and then it's Nerny Nowicki, Joseph Swan, Hank Camp, and Kyle Taub in the top 20.
Rounding out through the 32 truck grid, Alex Chilcutt, not the day he would have liked. 21st, JT Poole led laps early, was up front early, but not to be in 22nd. Brad Slaughter, 23rd, Brian Noel and Corey Bodie. Trevor Edwards, 26th, Curtis Bell, Hartman, and Swank. And then just the last 2 drivers to report here on the board. Chris Seidenfaden and Jeremy Miller was not here on the track this evening. But running down to Victory Circle with Garrett Conrad is Hunter to have that winning interview for the 49.
Yeah, congrats, Garrett. What a drive that you had there. Phenomenal race and a phenomenal season so far. And I'm going to assume that you'll be the points leader out of this one. It was really close heading into this one, but take me through that race, man. It was a blast watching you and Cole give it all.
Yeah, Cole, he might have 1 or 2 points still on me, but it's definitely close it up there. The way that race was going towards the last half of the race, I didn't think I was going to be in this position at all. Short runs, not my strong suit, but just luckily I caught a break there at the very end. Long run, I had good pace, kind of all day. Other than that last long run, I burnt him up. Once I got to the lead, that's when I got him burnt up, but just can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, points are just now coming in. I might have jumped the gun. I did say you would be the points leader out of this one, but you're 2 points behind Cole. So you moved up a spot in points. You're 2 points back now. How does that change your trajectory with it being so close now, heading into North Wilkesboro with only 2 races left in the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just straight up between me and him for the next 2 races. Short tracks, I'm pretty confident at. North Wilkesboro, I like, so we'll see how that goes. Auto Club, I mean, I won there last year, but that was on fuel strategy, so we'll have to see, but I think it should be a show.
All right, well, 3rd win on the year, and by the way, you're the first person to win more than once in the Truck Series. First 7 seasons, we had a different winner. Season 8, not the case. You're the first 2-time winner of the Trucks. Congrats, man.
Yep, thank you, guys. Also, thank you, Hendry County Motorsports Park.
Absolutely. That is our race winner, Garrett Conrad, out of the booth here in 2nd place on the day. Travis Beckner, a very up and down day. You had that drive through, you recovered, you drove through the field, and ultimately, you sort of had a shot on that last restart, but couldn't make it happen there. Overall, how does it feel to get a 2nd after everything you endured tonight?
I mean, I hate to say this, but it's about damn time I got back up here in the podium. I've been having good runs all season long and just haven't had the results to show it. I mean, I've been leading laps almost every single race this season, but ended up getting caught up in something of my own doing or somebody else's doing. Most of the time it's my own doing, so I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I mean, yeah, I still go back to that race at Homestead that you had locked up until the very end, and sorry to bring that one back up, but I mean, you look at the grand scheme of things, man, anything can happen in the next two races. Obviously, North Wilkesboro, I mean, we can imagine how that race is going to go. Auto Club is going to be a Daytona Junior. You're still only 33 points out of this. I know it's kind of on the end of a long shot, but it only takes a little bit of luck and two good runs. Do you still think you have a loose shot at this?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, anything could happen in this series. We've seen it happen before. I mean, like last season at this time, I didn't think I had a shot at running for the championship. I only missed out by 2 points to make it in the Final Four. But it's just, you got to keep your nose clean and not do anything stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually been a big thing, too, keeping your head on. That's obviously taking a couple guys out, a little bit of good luck. Put that all in the blender. Hopefully you get a good smoothie there, but I'll give you the floor for any shot. It's been a while, man. Take the floor.
Yes, sir. It has been a while. First off, got to thank Hendry County Motorsports Park. Come check us out in February. We got a huge Winter Nationals this year. We got World of Outlaws late models in the first weekend of February. Not to mention, big announcement today, we got Hunt the Front as well that week. So it's going to be a 3-race show. Also got to thank Velocity RPM, Superior Race Cars, Wilson Race Cars, General Elevator Solutions. Y'all taking the time out of your day to come broadcast this. Big shout out to my grandparents. Back at Kansas, I ended up missing Kansas because my power supply went out in my PC. Well, here comes Grandma Vicky and Granddad Dave with, here, go buy yourself a power supply. Let us know how much it is.
Gotta love grandparents, man. Been there myself, and obviously they're rooting for you, and we'll catch you soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Of course, not in the chase, but a good run nonetheless. Jonathan Evans there with Hunter for third.
Yeah, Jonathan, congrats on the podium. It was a blast watching you drive through the field outside the top 10, inside, and then back inside the top 5, and in and out for the lead. Take me through your thoughts on the second to last restart with just two guys taking 2 tires and clogging up both lanes, and then it just seemed to go all sorts of haywire there. Just take me through your vantage point of it all.
I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest. I mean, I'm pretty annoyed about that. Yeah, the race was super up and down, as you said, and yeah, I felt like no one was like saving their tires, and people were just driving really aggressive. So it kind of got to a point on that last run where I was just like gonna prove a point where I was just gonna commit to the bottom, and I think I dropped back to like 12th, and I was like, I'm gonna pass all you guys later. So maybe they could, I don't know. But yeah, the last restart, I don't even know what to make of it. You know, Hayden took the top, which I thought was really bizarre. I mean, if he took the bottom, it would have helped me, but I thought the bottom was better restarting all night. Yeah, Kyle, I mean, he just tried to hold on in front of me, and then I don't know what happened to Hayden. He just like shot down like elevator style across the start finish. I don't know what that was about. And then I look up and I'm in like 4th. So yeah, I thought I had the race won. I thought my strategy was worked out very well at the end, and yeah, it stinks, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, with that being said, I know you're on a part-time basis, but you gave him a run for the money tonight. Is there any chance that we'll see you at North Wilkesboro next week?
No, I'm not. No, this is probably my last one for the season.
All right. Well, if that is the case, it's been a pleasure, and congrats on the podium and the success that you've had throughout the Truck Series this season.
I appreciate that. Quick shout out to Race Powerhouse, everyone over there for putting me in the seat, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Everyone that watched, the league for putting the show on. I'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right, we'll see you then, Jonathan. A solid run, and that'll wrap up our post-race show. A good race here overall. Obviously, some good, exciting racing. Some tempers still got the best of some drivers, and how can you talk about tempers without talking about going to a short track next week?
Yeah, if we've had people get suspended for a week for wrecking heading into a short track, where usually that is the place where you would see more guys try to take out their frustrations on each other and wreck each other and whatnot, it might be a bloodbath. I'll have to look at the points and see who's got more wreck score and who doesn't, because it's really going to be close. Because you mentioned it, as long as you keep your head on straight, you'll be fine. But yeah, I'm not really sure what happened with Trevor Edwards tonight. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one, because he entered fourth, and now after that mishap, he's going to miss next week, and he's out of championship contention for sure. But it's going to be a fun battle to see Cole Cabry, Garrett Conrad, see if Chilcon Beckner can close the gap down.
Absolutely should be fun to watch. What'll also be fun to watch is the Florida State Pro Series race on Thursday night. That is traditionally the Cletus race of the week, so we'll see if that trend continues as they continue their chase efforts en route to a championship in that O'Reilly car. Like, share, comment, subscribe, join here on Twitch. $5 a month, get all your perks that go with that. But it's going to be Corey and Hunter signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.